Happy Self Love Sunday. I am Moe Sass, your host of Self Love Sunday with Sass. I first of all want to say Happy New Year, Happy 2024 to everyone. And I just want to thank you if you are someone who is new for tuning into my YouTube channel and on my podcast. Listen, you could be anywhere else, but you chose to be here rocking it out with me. And I want you to know that I appreciate you, as well as if you are a continuing listener, I hope that you continue to stick around and enjoy the content. And please, please, please share my YouTube channel and subscribe. It means the world to me because this is going to be a major year. 2024, I have declared it's going to be the year of the bold. And what we're talking about when we talk about being bold, if you look at the definition, is showing the ability to take risk in that you're confident and courageous and having a strong or vivid appearance. Listen, y'all, 2024 has to be the year. This is do or die. It really is. It's do or die. It's so critical that we get aligned with ourselves so we can get aligned in our purpose in what we're supposed to be doing here on earth. Whether the purpose is your relationships with your children, your relationship with your significant other, your career, your health, whatever the purpose is that you're destined to do, this is the year. Now is the time. No more putting it off for, another year, right? No more with these New Year resolutions where we're going to say we're going to do all these things and we don't do them. This is the year of the bold. We're going to take risks. We're going to be confident in doing this and we're going to be courageous. So today, I'm going to talk to you. I'm going to give you 5 strategies or 5 ways that you can start your year off boldly. And the first one is embracing self-discovery. What am I talking about? Know thyself. This is the year that you have to come to know who you are and what you want and why you want it. No more of this going with the trends. I had a conversation with a good friend of mine. We went to breakfast last week and we were talking about this. Everybody's talking about it. Every time there's a new trend, everybody wants to go with a trend, right? It's trend of words, trends of trauma, we toxic and narcissistic and all these different trendy words that people are using to clickbait you. And what's happening is you're not coming to know who you are. Who are you really? And better yet, who do you desire to become? Because if we are here and we're talking about fulfilling our purpose, if we're talking about living boldly, this is about becoming the best version of ourselves, not becoming the best version of someone else by listening to someone else and following what they're telling us to do. It's time for you to know yourself. On this journey, what are you passionate about? What are your strengths? What do you value? Embrace self-discovery. Know thyself. I really want to encourage some of you women who are out here listening to me. I encourage you to go back and look into those forgotten dreams because you don't think that it's possible for you. Listen, anything is possible when you believe and you take bold and massive action. So number 1, I want you to embrace this. Who are you? Get from away from around everybody and give yourself time to think. We are in the world of doers. We're not in the world of thinkers. If you just take a moment, get in your home, take 5, 10, 15 minutes, whatever you have, just sit down and think. What do I really want? What do I want? If you are in your 40s, how many summers we have left? I'll give you good maybe 20 summers. What do you want to do? How do you want to live it out? How do you want to feel? This is the year. This is the time, more than ever, for people to start discovering who they are. Every time we turn on social media, I don't care whether if you go on Facebook, you're going to find out who's dying. You go on Instagram, you're going to find out who's fronting. If you go on TikTok, you're going to find out who's exposing who. And this is what we've become consumed with. The number 1 drug in America right now is not sugar, because that was the number 1 drug. People will tell you that it was drugs and alcohol. It's actually sugar. It's now social media. And so we're not thinking, we're not taking the time out to think for ourselves and come to know. And it's okay to follow people to get inspiration. It's okay to follow people even to open our minds. But who is it that you're following and where are they leading you to? If they're not leading you closer to yourself and closer to God, I'm going to need you to think about that. I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm going to tell you to think about it, though. Know thyself. That's the first strategy for living boldly in 2024. Number two, create fearlessness in relationships. What am I talking about here? We are in relationships where we're not aligned. And when I talk about relationships, I'm talking about friendships as well, right? That we're not aligned. We don't have clear boundaries. We're just saying yes all over the place. We're not expressing our needs. We're just going along with what other people want because we want to be liked or we want to be invited. And none of that. Here's the thing. I'm not here to tell you that it's not okay to, have cultivate friendships where there's mutualism. That's wonderful. But if you're just going along to get along, if you're just riding the wave to wherever, then you don't know yourself, which is the first principle. But this is the year. This is the year that we stop hanging around people who are not in alignment with where we're heading. And I want to be clear on this. I say it time and time again. It doesn't make anyone wrong or bad or we're better. First of all, no one's better than anyone. Let's just be clear on that. We can be different though. And you can be different, and it's okay to be different. It's okay to step up. It's okay to, first of all, we need more people stepping up. Where are your voices at today? We are being drowned out. Listen, the voices of the people who are walking in their purpose, who are really truly trying to help people grow and learn and love to love themselves, because we understand something. When you know thyself, right, and you start to cultivate relationships that are in alignment with character and the value systems that you set forth, then guess what? The world gets better because you get better. That's how you make it better. So you got to start setting some clear boundaries, not just for other people, but for yourself. Because this requires discipline. This requires some changing of habits. This requires some changes of environments. If the environment that you're in is not cultivating you to grow, why are you there? If you're the smartest person in your environment, you're in the wrong environment. I'm not saying that you totally have to leave those people, cut them off. I'm not that person. Listen, I always say sometimes you just continue to grow and relationships fall off. Nothing wrong with those people. It's not to grow and become judgmental. We don't have a right to judge. I don't have the right. All the things that I've done, and if you new here, you can go back to listen to previous videos I've done over the years. I expose everything about me. There's nothing left that someone can expose me on. I've exposed it all. And that's because I've come to know and love myself. But also, I've continued to grow. I'm not who I used to be, nor do I desire. So in all of it's okay. I want to be clear, because a lot of times when we talk about becoming in alignment and growing, getting yourselves in communities of like-minded individuals, we think we have to crap all over the people who we used to run with. And that's not cool, and that's not it. Just because you're not aligned with that anymore don't mean you have to dog them out. And this is a place that we have to get to in relationships as well. Sometimes, listen, if you're not in alignment with the person that you're dating, it's okay to leave. I don't have to call them narcissistic this and that and the other, and they toxic that. I don't have to do all of that. It's not in alignment with who I am and where I'm headed. Thank you, but no thank you. Collect the data and move on. It's so important that we open ourselves up to that. And it's okay to let go, and it's okay to grow. And I'm not talking about relationships. I'm talking about any friendships, anything, even jobs that you've outgrown. It's okay. I'm not telling you just to get up and quit either. I'm saying make a plan. Because what's the saying? If you fail to plan, right, then you plan to fail. So make a plan. But number two, cultivate fearlessness in relationships. What that means is it's time to get in alignment. When you start to know yourself and you build the values and your characters, you should be in alignment with those people. You shouldn't find yourself in places and in spaces. Listen, if you, I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna talk to my Christian brothers and sisters just for half a second. If you've outgrown some places and spaces, I'm not saying that you can't help anyone that's in that environment, but you shouldn't be still with the booty bouncing in the club, on your knees, like real talk. If that's not your place, that's not your place. But here's the thing, if it is your place, that's okay. Stay there, but don't come over here preaching to everybody else, talking about something they need to do X, Y, and Z, but you're not living that life. Okay? And when it's time for us to really start walking in our callings for real though. I'm never going to sit on here and tell y'all something that I'm just not going to do or haven't done. Most of the time I've done it already. Right? And so a part of my growth is owning where I am. There's no shame in that. I used to party like the best of them. I promise you, there's videos. There's videos. I'm not ashamed of that. That's where I've grown past some of it. Not all of it, because I'm not perfect. But what I'm here to tell you is that if it's not aligned with my destiny, if it's not aligned with my purpose, I promise you I'm not doing it. I'm just not. And that's where we have to be. That takes some courage. It takes boldness to walk away from things that don't align with you. It takes boldness to do that. But this is why we have to do it. So the first thing we have to do is embrace self-discovery, know thyself. The second thing, cultivate fearless relationships. That means get in alignment and get around people who are aligned with where you're going. Set clear boundaries for yourself as well as others. Because every time a lot of people want to set boundaries for other people, but you need to set some boundaries for yourself. Okay? So number 3, invest this one, y'all. I really want to scream this from the rooftops because my story is I went from welfare to winning. So I understand a lot of different mentalities and things along the way. I promise y'all I do. But the one thing, this really should be number 1 on anyone's list, invest in your personal growth. If you want to live boldly, if you want to take risk, if you want to live courageously, and listen, you want to sustain it, because it's one thing, let me tell you something about motivation. Motivation is like lighting the match of gasoline on the wood and just flame just goes up, but after a while it dies down. Go up, dies down. What I'm talking about is sustaining this thing. Right? So you have to, in order to do that, you have to consistently invest in your personal growth and development. Whether that's, some people decided to go back to school, it's okay. Whether you decide to go back and get an education, listen, some people took the shortcut route. They're going to read books, attending workshops. I can't talk enough about, over the past couple of years, all of the seminars and works. I will never stop doing that work. Never. Because there's always, and I need you to listen, if you don't write this down, I should have told you to write some other things down, but write this down. There's always another level. There is always another level. There is always another level. And how do we get there? Because we continue to invest in our personal growth and development. Listen, there was a content creator who I respect. He made a post that blew my mind. What he said was, Christmas comes around once a year. Black Friday comes around once a year. New Year's come around once a year. And people break their backs to get gifts under the tree, to be able to exchange gifts, to be able to show off the new outfit to wear to the New Year's Eve party. They will break their necks to do that. But your bills come monthly. Your relationships are breaking down daily. Your relationships with your children, with your job, with your spouse, and some of you are winning at work. Oh yeah. Some of you, real talk, winning in your career and not winning at home, not winning in your relationships because you're not investing the time that it takes to actually grow that area, to learn how to effectively communicate with your children and your partners. You're not even taking the time to cultivate that within yourself. So why is that? Why is that we'll take all of our money and then go and throw it under a present under the tree, which at the end of the day, once you unwrap it, and I'm going to tell you, listen, if you are in your 40s, and a lot of the women that I work with are 38 to 55 generally, if you are in my age group, you know that you'll find something that you absolutely love, have to have it. After you get it for a while, it's in your closet. You're not even thinking about it anymore. But let me tell you something about investing in yourself. The wisdom, the knowledge, and understanding that you gain, it breaks chains in your DNA. It breaks chains in your DNA. It breaks chains in your DNA. What does that mean? That means that everybody coming behind you, your children, your children's children, will grow because you took the initiative to grow. And sometimes it's hard being the first. Let me just say that. It is. I get it. Because there is clues, but it may not be an exact blueprint for you, right? Because what God has for you to walk in is yours. So success does leave clues, but you may have to build your own personal blueprint. I get that. But at the end of the day, what you're going to do, it's not about you, boo. It's about your family member. Listen, you don't have to have children. It's what I do. I happen to have 5 living children. It was 6 altogether. My son passed away. And so it's about my children, their children, my nieces, my nephews. Everything I do is about breaking it. When they see me doing it, they know it's possible. When they see you picking up a book, when they see you paying for a coach, when they see you going to therapy. Listen, I understand that everybody doesn't have to go to therapy, because I know there's different areas of therapy, right? But if you don't have a therapist, you should have a coach and or a mentor. Why is that important? Because they're going to help you. Let me give you some stats, because I know people don't understand this. This is do or die. It really is. If you can't look around and see what's happening, this is do or die for your generation. You investing in yourself, not looking at everybody else. Because we have a habit of doing, come on, we're going to be real today. We have a habit of hearing something and be like, you know what? That's for that person. And this person should listen to this. But how about you not just listen, but you apply action to it? How about you take it in first? How about you do it and then let them watch you, and then they will come. But I promise you, you can be the generational chain breaker in your family if you decide to invest in yourself. Vet the people that you invest in. I'm okay with that, but invest. All right. So there was a 2009 global coaching study that the International Coaching Federation put out. And I'm just going to give you some stats to tell you why this is do or die. First, 73% of coaching clients say that coaching helps them improve their relationships. 73%. 73%. You want a healthy relationship? Get some help. The problem is that is you and the other person, you come in with all your baggage and they got all their baggage and y'all just bagging it out instead of getting help for yourself, instead of trying to force your partner into it. How about you go work on you and let them come as a result of the work? All right. 72% says that coaching improved their communication skills, because the reason why relationships are not working, people, has nothing to do with finances, but everything to do with effective communication. It's how you perceive what the person is saying and how you're responding to it, and how they're hearing it, right? So it's effective communication. You have an opportunity to grow your relationship just by learning how to communicate effectively, and understanding that even if you're not using words, how your body, how the way your face shapes, how the way you move also communicates. All right. 71% of people said that it helps with their interpersonal skills. 70% says it helps with their work performance. 67% says it helps with work-life balance. Now, here's the thing. We'll talk about this in another video. When I don't really prescribe to balance, I prescribe to seasons, because there's going to be seasons where, and I use this analogy because I'm with going out into the field, right? It's going to be seasons where you have to get down in the dirt, you have to turn the soil, you have to plant the seed, but you got to turn the soil, you got to get your hands dirty. And that's going to require some sacrifice. That's going to require some long days and nights. That's going to require some hard work. And it's going to require a day in, day out. But it's only for a season. It's temporary. But imagine if you were working with someone who helped you learn how to communicate that to your partner, learn how to communicate that with your children, so they understand, hey, honey, this is only temporary. This is just in this season. Because guess what? After I finish doing all of this and I water the crop and I make sure that I get good soil on it, guess what? We're going to bear the fruits of this, right? So this is just temporary, but there's seasons, and you got to understand what season you're in, because everybody's season is different, to even learn how to communicate that. So when it comes to work-life balance, I say there are seasons. What season are we in? Okay, because even families have different seasons according to how, if you have children, if they play sports, right, there's different seasons. You have to know what season you're in, and when you know that, right, you can build a structure for your family where everybody has an understanding, because we come to the table and we've had a discussion instead of everybody getting in their feelings. Okay, we become proactive instead of reactive. And lastly, 63% of people who took on coaching said that their overall wellness improved, right? So there was a study of 391 people who showed that one-to-one coaching, and this is according to, now that the early stats I gave you is from the ICF, but this is according to the Journal of Medical Internet Research. There was 391 people who showed that one-to-one coaching can improve your psychological well-being and mitigate threats to mental health in the form of excessive and prolonged stress. Who knows that stress can kill you? Y'all keep letting them kids stress you out, okay? Keep letting this money stuff stress you out. You're gonna be dead and you ain't even got to worry about it, okay? Low, and it also helps with low resilience and poor satisfaction with life. Because here's the thing: what do most people want to have in life? They want to be healthy, they want to be happy, and they want financial stability. Those are the three things that most people want: to be healthy, to be happy, and financial stability. But you become so frustrated because you get in this think tank by yourself thinking, I have to do it alone. There's no one to help me. That is the most untrue statement. I promise y'all, I swear. Listen, if ever you want to prove anything I say, you can always message me and I'll get you in touch with the people. Let me tell you something. When I started on this journey and I began to ask for help, first of all, when I became in alignment, right, started to know myself, right, starting to get around the right environments with the right people, learn to have a stable foundation with the Lord. And here's the thing: I always give the disclaimer, I don't care what you call your God. I'm not here to tell you that, but I'm telling you, a part of my personal growth was my spiritual health. So when I started to do all of that, y'all, the amount of people that came and helped me for free, you just wouldn't even imagine what people would do. I was just a welfare mother from the inner city. I'm telling you, $322 a month was my welfare check. $322 a month, and I got food stamps. And here I am today. No, am I a millionaire yet? Nope, but you heard me say yet, right? Because I'm on my way. How do I know it? Because I will never stop investing in myself. It has no other choice but to come. I need you to hear that. When you consistently put in the work, this is life for me. It has no other choice but to come, no matter what happens. So what happens is when I start to invest in my personal growth, I get more and more resilient. So life is going to continue to life. There's always going to be death. There's always going to be some sort of grief. There's going to be some sort of traumatic event. All of those things are going to happen. But because I put myself with coaches and mentors and communities, when that happened, I'm surrounded by love so I can heal quicker to be able to move forward. You notice I didn't say get over something or just ignore it. I said heal. Heal. Because somebody needs to hear that right now. It's time to invest in you so you can heal some of that old stuff, so that you can become present, so we can build a beautiful future, so that you can have the health and the financial stability and the happiness that you desire. It's all right there for you. The reason why you don't have it yet is because you don't even understand this is life or death. That stuff that you buy, that ain't life or death. Investing in yourself, I promise you, is life or death. And here I am telling you that 73% of people are telling you that you will have better relationships if you get a coach, mentor, a therapist in your life, and you'll still walk past that. But yet you tell me you want a healthy marriage, but yet you tell me you want a healthy family. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. You don't want to pick up a book. You don't want to get yourself involved in the spiritual community. And what I mean by that is just pick up whatever the word that of the person that you follow. If it's Allah, the Quran, if it's Jesus or whatever, with Christianity, pick up a Bible. All you got to do is read for yourself. I'm not telling you to run to somebody's church, although I think that's okay. I'm telling you to come to know God for yourself as a part of personal growth and development. You want to live boldly in 2024, you're going to have to know yourself. You're going to have to get aligned. right? Around the right people, cultivate that fearlessness of relationships and invest in your personal growth. All right. So those are the first three things, right? Number four, you're going to have to prioritize your mental and physical well-being. It still ties into the personal growth. Listen, self-care and being mentally at peace and physically able, 2024 is going to you're going to have to step this up, y'all, because your body is working consistently. And I'm here to tell you, listen, my body is doing some strange things. I'm going through menopause. I've never gone through it before, so I can't tell you about something I've never been through before. But prior to this, I taught fitness for 10 years. I know what the body can do. This is now I have to learn what the body can do as I'm going through this menopause phase. But here's what I'm not going to do is take advantage of my body. What that means is every single day, your body is fighting to keep you alive. Do you realize that? It's running the organs, it's helping you breathe. It's doing everything it can to keep you alive. All you have to do is come into alignment and work with your body. Feed it the right things, which also helps with your mental. You eating a bunch of sugar and just putting a whole bunch of crap in your body. That's why you don't feel good. You have to feed it the right things. If you don't know what right things that is, this is why I'm saying that you need to hire a nutritionist coach. There's so many coaches out there. You can't do this alone. I'm sorry about that I'm not sorry about that. Get out of your comfort zone. Regular exercise. And again, this balanced diet. What is a balanced diet? I always tell people, listen, eat clean. What does that mean? 90% of what you eat should be foods that die quickly. Healthy, live fruits, vegetables, and if you eat meat. Not a lot of processed stuff that stores in the cabinet forever, stuff that stores in the freezer forever. Not a lot of that. You got to have fun. I get it. So that's why I said 90-10, 90% of the time. Okay. Mindful practices, meditation. People, listen, what is quieting your mind? You so busy doing. You're not listening. You're not hearing. I had to learn this the hard way. I wasn't listening. I wasn't hearing my kids. I was doing what I wanted to do. I just was doing. You need to take a second and stop doing and think. So get into some mindful practices. Learn how to slow down. It's not selfish to take care of yourself. Just take a moment. Look, moms, I get it. I had 5 of them running around the house. And at one time, so they come in chunks, right? So the older 3 was out, and then I had the younger 3. And they were in travel softball, travel cheer, and baseball. I was running myself ragged. But I still found time, because I taught fitness at that time, to work out. I still found time to eat well. I still found time to spend time with them. I went to listen, I'm going to tell you, I was an ultimate cheer mom, and I was not a girly girl, okay? So it has nothing to do with your personality. It has everything to do with what you're willing to become. I need you to hear me. It has nothing to do with it. It's just the way I am. I'm going to call BS on that. You can absolutely change it if you desire to change. I can say that to you because I did it. Not because of some theory, not because of what I think, because I did it. My book, Finding Your Way, 7 Ways to Love and Heal Yourself, guess what? That was my story. I did it. And many other women that I've walked through this process have done it. You can absolutely do it, but you have to decide. And once you decide, ain't no stopping you. So let's talk about it, right? So why I promote wellness coaching? Listen, research the Mayo Clinic, MAYO. They did a study and they talked about how wellness coaching can reduce depressive symptoms. So many of us are walking around here just depressed, just functioning in it. It can help with perceived stress levels and improve the quality of your life. The physical, emotional, social, cognitive, and spiritual functioning. That's why I became a wellness coach. I deal with the overall arc of the person, from head to toe. Now, I don't do fitness plans and meal plans. That's not it. I get to the root of why you operate the way you do so that you can learn that, know thyself, right? And once you pull out the root and get that out of there, then we can replant beautiful things to help you think clear, to help your mindset, to get you out of that lack mentality, to get you out of those survival mechanism, to get you to stop scraping around here for scraps and always thinking like I gotta hustle everything and everybody. You manipulating people and don't even know it. We're not being real today. We live in a society where everybody's on social media talk, this person narcissistic. They don't even understand what it means. What it is they gravitate to a buzzword. Get off social media and start taking care of yourself. Start taking care of your well-being. Listen, go walking 15 minutes a day. Joseph McClendon III said the funniest thing. He said, walk out your door, walk for 7 minutes, right? And when the alarm go off, turn back around and walk to your house. He said 8 minutes. I think it was 7 minutes. And there's your time, right? So that's all you have to do. So easy. Walk around your house. Go from the upstairs or downstairs. If you have one room, well, I don't care if you're walking in a circle, march. Do anything to move your body because you have to move that stagnant energy. This is ladies. We carry our trauma in our lower back and in our knees. You got to move that stagnant energy. You feel it. You feeling down. You're feeling low. You're feeling sad. Get up and start jumping. Move the energy. That's why it's so important to learn some of these strategies from coaches, mentors, groups, therapists. Okay. And then, so the ICF also said 58% of patients with depression symptoms, as a matter of fact, no, that wasn't. I read this in Psychology Today. I love Psychology Today. I always wanted to be a psychologist, just so you guys know that. I didn't go back to school for it, but I read Psychology Today and it said 58% of patients with depressive symptoms experience clinical recovery after at least one session with a certified coach. One, because not everyone needs a therapist, right? And so psychologists today are starting to recognize the need for coaching, right? There is a huge need. This is life and death for you. This is life and death for you. This is life and death for your marriage. This is life and death for your relationships, right? With your whoever you're dating or engaged to. This is life and death for your relationship with your children. This is life and death for your relationship with your family members. Because they're preaching today, every family is toxic. Just leave your family. Just go away from everybody. Everybody's a narcissist. Your mother, your father, your ex, everybody is toxic. And what they're doing is they're pulling our families apart. And I need my Black people to hear me today. Can we get off the internet debating one another and get into ourselves? Learn to know who we are, to love ourselves. And when you start doing that, and you become a healed person, you get in a healed environment, and you start listening to that mess, you know that's no more than a bunch of hurt people spilling a bunch of hurt rhetoric to listen. And here's why you gravitated to it, because you're hurt, because you haven't dealt with those things in the past, because you haven't healed. And let me tell you something about a trigger, because they always talk about somebody trigger you. That trigger becomes important. Do you know why? It's telling you the very thing that you need to heal, honey. I need you to hear that today. I'm not saying stay around somebody who constantly, that's not what I'm saying. When my mother triggers me, I know that's a place that I still need to heal. When my kids trigger me, because let me tell you something about them children. I love my kids, y'all. But let's be real today. Let's be real today. They talk about we trigger them. Lord, do they trigger us? That feeling of never feeling like you're going to be a good enough mother, always worrying, did you do the right thing? Did you say the right this? And listen, that's what those triggers do. So I want for you, the next time you're triggered by somebody, to sit down and journal. Why am I really feeling this way? I want you to get to the root. Why am I really feeling this way? Is it about what this person is saying to me, or is it something deeper than that? Because sometimes we get in relationships with people and they're paying the price for something that somebody else did 5 years ago because we haven't healed it. Okay. So let's recap real quick. Number one, embrace self-discovery, know thyself. Number two, cultivate fearlessness in relationships. That means get in alignment with others as well as yourself. Okay? Create them boundaries for you too. Third, invest in personal growth. Fourth, prioritize your mental and physical well-being. Here's what I'm gonna say, this last thing on the physical and mental well-being. When you start to love and heal yourself, especially my moms, you become such a better mother. It's such a peace. You become a better girlfriend. I know. You become a better wife. You become a better friend. This is why that becomes important. So last, for my professional girlies, Living Bold 2024, seize professional opportunities. Seize professional opportunities. Stop being scared to go after what you want, that career you want, that business you want to start. It's time for us to live courageously, and it's time for you to take calculated and intentional risk. Listen to me, calculated. What does that mean? That your plan, you have a plan, intentional. You're intentional about the risk that you're taking. Okay, but it's time for you to leap. And here's the other thing that's actually great is that coaching also helps you with the confidence to go and to ask for that raise that you desire, to have those conversations when you're seeking promotion from your employer, because everybody's not an entrepreneur, and nor do you need to be. Can we get off that too? Everybody does not want to start a business. It's beautiful if you do, and it's beautiful if you don't. That's why my whole thing about that's why my book is Finding Your Way. It doesn't have to be my way. It doesn't have to be like everybody else. As a matter of fact, I need you to be you and do the thing that you're supposed to do, because maybe your purpose is somewhere in the job that you're on. You don't know, right? So here's the thing: you don't have to be an entrepreneur, but it's also great when you're in there to take risk in your job. Take the risk. Ask for the promotion. And here's what you do. I've done it. I worked it'll be 28 years. My God, I can't believe this. It'll be 28 years this year I've been in my profession. And I've learned how to have those conversations. But I've also learned to say, what does it take to earn this or get this promotion? So I know the criteria. Once I learn the criteria, I go after that thing with a vengeance. And then I'm promoted. Now, at this point in my juncture in my career, I'm not looking to be promoted anymore. Right now, I'm looking to grow my business because that season is coming to an end in my life, and it's time for me to begin a new one. But the thing is, it's not but, it's and I took the risk, started my own business. I did it boldly. I did it scared. I need you to hear this. I did it boldly, but I did it scared. What do you mean? How can you do it bold and scared? No one ever said that it wouldn't be fear, but you have to be courageous enough to do it anyway. So jump into it. Seek out that job that you want. It's okay if you want to work for someone else. And it's never too late to pivot in your career. Don't listen to nobody tell you, oh, you 40, you 50, it's too late. A lie from the pits of HE double hockey sticks, okay? A lie. It's never too late. It's never too late. But you got to get around the right place with the right people in the right season. You got to know that for yourself, right? Start to look at your patterns. So when I talk about seasons, and again, we're going to talk about this later on in videos in 2024, because I'm so serious about this being the year of the bold. I'm so tired of people living in fear because people are scaring the crap out of them, thinking they're going to die tomorrow. You ain't going to die tomorrow. You surely going to live. And if you going to live, then let's live then. Let's do this boldly. Let's know ourselves. Stop following these trends. You know what's life or death? What's life or death is you investing in yourself. What's life or death is you renewing your mind, your spirit, and your heart. That's life or death for you and your family. That's life or death. And that's real talk. It was life or death for me. That's exactly why I will never stop. Man, my kids get to see me rocking. Do you understand me? That's life or death. And here's the thing people don't get. There's people I call the walking dead. That means they're here, But they're complaining, they're draining, they're blaming, and they're shaming. They're not doing anything to make this environment better. And I'm talking about environment around them. They're not doing anything to make themselves better, people better. They're not doing anything. They're the walking dead. That's why I said this is life or death. Y'all don't get it. This is life or death. You have an opportunity of lifetime. Listen, that pain that you're in, I want you to imagine staying in that pain for another 5 years, because that's exactly what's going to happen. If you don't make a decision today to say, you know what, I'm going to pick up the phone and I'm going to contact, listen, www.moesass.com, mosass.com. This is do or die. It really is. Aren't you tired of fighting? Aren't you tired of your home being in turmoil? Aren't you tired of crying in the shower? Are you tired of crying when no one's around? Aren't you tired of being depressed? Aren't you tired of being in survival mode? Aren't you tired of being broke, busted, and disgusted? Aren't you tired? This is life or death. All of our children are running around here, anxiety. I've never seen more depression in young kids. And you think that the answer is a pill? No, the answer is you. The answer is you. This is life or death. Y'all playing. This is real talk. Your house is in turmoil, but you go to work every day. I'm winning at my job. I'm a boss. But your house is a mess. You stressed out. You're tired. You're overwhelmed. You're burnt out. No more. If that sounds like you, www.mosass.com or email me, info@mosass.com. It's time. 2024 is the year. And let me say this to you. I don't care if you don't reach out to me. I don't have to be the coach. But you need to reach out to somebody, because you can't go on another year like this. You can't go on another year fighting. You can't go on another year divorced and now your kids are in the middle of a co-parenting nightmare. You can't keep going on like this. Popping things for anxiety. Living in this depressed state. In isolation. Because they told you everybody is toxic and everybody's narcissistic, so you don't know what to do. You don't believe me? I want you to close your eyes and imagine. Right now, just close your eyes and imagine 5 more years of the same. Because that's what you're going to get if you don't make a decision and decide today, not tomorrow. It's do or die. Now or never. 2024, the year of the bold. And that's why I even sound different, because I'm talking boldly now. Because I see what's happening. This is going to be the year, y'all. And you're going to get from around them people that don't align. Because I'm going to tell you something that happens when you stay around people that you're not supposed to be around. Everything they get, you get too. As a default. You don't believe me? Just open up your eyes and see what's happening in the world today about how many people fall as a result of being associated with somebody who they know they shouldn't be associated with. That's why we got to get into our year. That's why we got to do it boldly. We have to be courageous. We have to listen. We have to get help. That's what this is all about. Right? We have to take the risk. So 5 strategies for living bold in 2024. Number 1, know thyself, embrace self-discovery. Number 2, cultivate fearlessness in relationships. Get in alignment and get around people who are aligned with who you're becoming and not who you used to be yesterday, okay? Invest in your personal growth. I've given you all the stats. If you can listen to those stats and still say, I'm just going to sit up here and ride this out by myself, you really don't want help. So don't try to fool nobody else. 4th, prioritize your mental and physical well-being. Move your body, clean up your mind. Last, seize professional opportunities. It's time to go after what we want with a vengeance. I thank you so much for listening to me today. It is going to be an amazing, amazing year. I have some outstanding programs that are about to hit the market, as well as 2 new books that also are hitting the market. And I will be coming back next week to talk to you about some of that, as well as we're going to dive a little bit more deeper into what I'm working on, because I'm telling you guys, This year gonna be it, y'all. I hope you have the most amazing day. Thank you.